Hello everyone, welcome back to Animals with Nianne. Today we're diving into a world of a cat where I feel like scientists were lazy naming this cat. The lynx, aka the Eurasian lynx. Yes, its scientific name is lynx. Not lynx something, just lynx. Because one lynx wasn't enough, apparently. It honestly reminds me of that song of Motomoto. How does it go again? Something like, it's so good you say a double, or something. I feel like it also applies to the lynx. The lynx is so good you say a double.
My name is Moto, yeah, you say it double.
But behind that slightly odd name is one of Europe's and Asia's most fascinating predators. Let's find out more about this cool cat. Just like all cats, this cat also serves face. One of their most noticeable features is their tufted ears. It's not known for sure why they have these tufted ears, but it's suggested that the lynx ear tufts are used to improve their hearing. Another theory to why they have these ear tufts is because they act like whiskers to help them sense their environment. But these are just theories. We don't know for sure why they have them. I like to think that they have them just for fashion. Others can measure from 70 to 130 centimeters from nose to rump and weigh between 80 to 36 kilograms. Males are typically larger than females, and they stand about 60 to 71 centimeters long from the shoulders. Unlike most cats, lynx doesn't have a long tail. They have a short tail with a black tip at the end. The main reason why they have a short tail is due to a genetic mutation that didn't hinder survival. But there are also some theories that suggest that it could reduce heat loss in cold environments, that it requires less energy, and that their long tails aren't used for hunting or climbing. But again, we're not certain why they have short tails, except for the genetic mutation thing, but besides that, we don't really know. Another iconic feature of them is their huge paws, which act like snowshoes in winter. The paws help distribute the weight of the lynx. Its coat varies from greyish to yellowish brown, sometimes with spots or rosettes. Very cute, very adorable, we love it, such a fashion icon. And also, they have a great camouflage in forest and in mountains. The coat shifts with seasons. In winter it's usually a bit more thicker and longer, and in summer it's leaner. The Eurasian lynx has one of the widest ranges of all cats, stretching from northern Europe all the way to Russia and Central Asia. Habitats include temperate and boreal forests, with thick cover and beer and deer are abundant. A mix of woodland, grasslands, and rocky hillsides, especially in Central Asia. They generally avoid open plains without cover because they rely on ambush hunting. These cats were once common all over Europe, but unfortunately populations are fragmented in some regions due to historical persecution and habitat loss. And as far as I know, they're also not here in the Netherlands. There are like some rumors that they could be here, but we don't have any hard evidence that they're here in the Netherlands. But I think it would be really cool if they would be here. But I don't think so. Maybe in the future, because they're in Germany, if I'm correct. So maybe they'll cross the border and come to the Netherlands. You are very welcome, Eurasian lynx. Eurasian lynxes are very territorial and solitary. Unlike lions, they don't form social groups and just live their lives on their own. Except for women and kittens, they are together. But besides that, they live alone. They're primarily nocturnal and crepuscular, which means they're active at dawn and dusk, around the same time when their prey is most active. And lynxes maintain large territories. Males may range from 120 to 18,000 square kilometers, while females hold around 80 to 500 square kilometers, depending on prey density and also on landscape. Scent marking and visual clues help them claim the territory. They can travel 20 kilometers in the night chasing prey or checking the borders. But just because they can be very quiet doesn't mean they don't communicate. For example, the ears can show when they feel fear or aggression when frightened, and when the ears are standing straight up, It often means they're alert or curious, just like our house cats basically. And their tails can signal irritation or excitement. Slow swishing often occurs when they're stalking prey. When it comes to their posture, a crouched body and slow movements indicate stalking mode. A stretch out posture with head low is a classic predator on the hunt behavior. Despite being largely quiet, lynx do have several vocal cords, such as mewing or chirping when kittens communicate with their moms, growls or hisses. These are most used in defensive encounters or when feeling threatened. They also have mating calls, which happens during the breeding season, and females emit a harsh caterwaul to attract males. And they can also yawl or scream, which is very rare but can occur when fighting or during territorial disputes. So let's dive into the life of a lynx family. Breeding seasons run from late winter to early spring, so around February to April. And after 6 to 8 to 53 days, which is the gestation period, females give birth to 1 to 4 kittens. Most of the time they will have 2 to 3 kittens. And females prepare a den in a secluded spot. For example, hollow trees, rock crevices, or dense thickets. Dens are well hidden to protect the kittens from human disturbances and predators. Moms sometimes move kittens several times during a week if they feel like the area is unsafe enough. Kittens are born blind and helpless, weighing about 300 to 400 grams. They open their eyes after around 10 days, and hearing develops soon after that. Mother nurses kittens for the first 6 to 10 weeks, producing rich, high-fat milk to support rapid growth. During this time, kittens then confide to the den, curling up with each other and with mom to stay warm and stay protected. Some major development milestones. By around 3 to 4 weeks, kittens will start crawling and walking and explore the den area. Around 5 to 6 weeks, the kittens are introduced to their first solid foods, although they will still heavily rely on milk. Around 3 months old, the kittens will start to learn how to hunt, and mom will start teaching the kittens how to stalk, and they usually use small prey like rodents and birds for practice. And by months 10 to 12, kittens are usually ready to leave mom and find their own place. Females mature around 2 years and males about 2.5 to 3 years. In the wild, Eurasian lynx can live up to 17 years, but most average is between 10 to 15 years, depending on prey availability and human threats. In captivity, where threats are minimal, they can live up to 20 years, or even more. So what does the Eurasian lynx eat? The diet mainly consists of deer, and sometimes deer again. Unlike other lynx species that focus more on small prey, this one is a true macro predator. The biggest part of the diet in some parts of Europe exists out of roe deer. Besides that, they also eat chamois, red deer, musk deer, especially young or vulnerable individuals. They also sometimes eat hares, foxes, birds, rodents, and occasionally livestock near the forest edge. Each lynx kills a large prey about once a week, which can equate to 50 deer per year, which is a huge impact on prey population and ecosystem health. They play a big role in ecosystems. What I find really cool about the Eurasian lynx is that they can take down animals much larger than themselves, sometimes up to 3 or 4 times their body size. And another fun thing that they do is that they store leftover food in hiding spots to return to it later. Fun fact! Modern science is even using AI and camera trap datasets to identify individual lynx and monitor populations, learning how coat patterns and movements help with conservation decisions. That means your lynx sightings might literally help scientists track population health. Despite their comeback in many regions, the Eurasian lynx still faces big threats. Since 20 April 2014, the Eurasian lynx is assessed as least concern according to the IUCN. Threats that the lynx faces nowadays are mainly poaching and illegal killing, which remains a serious problem here in Europe, and habitat fragmentation, so roads that are being built, farms and towns break up forests and also breaks up territories of the lynx. And prey depletion is also a problem, because fewer deer, fewer prey means starving lynx. Some isolated populations, like the Balkan lynx, are critically endangered. So while lynx as a species is not necessarily endangered, many local populations are hanging on by a thread, and their fate is tied closely to how we manage landscapes and wildlife. Thank goodness there are several organizations working hard to protect lynxes and restore wildlife. The first organization I wrote down is the Large Carnivore Initiative for Europe. They track populations and support conservation planning. Then we have Rewilding Europe. They also work on other wildlife, but also for the lynx. Rewilding Europe is a conservation organization focused on letting natural processes take lead and restoring large landscapes across the continent. They work with local partners, governments and communities to reintroduce and strengthen population of key species, including the Eurasian lynx. And last but not least, we have Linking Lynx, which is a network of scientists, conservationists and managers working across Europe. Their mission is to support a viable and connected lynx metapopulation across regions ranging from Carpathian Mountains to the Alps and beyond. Together, these initiatives show how collaboration between organizations, scientists and local communities can help lynxes continue its comeback across Europe, turning once empty forests into thriving wild ecosystems again. So, there you have it, the Eurasian lynx. I hope you learned a lot from this video, and if you have more questions, please ask them. I love talking about animals, so I'll yap about animals anytime I have the opportunity to do so. Let me know in the comments what animals you want to know about more next time. I will link the sources and organizations in the description box down below. Don't forget to like if you like this video, subscribe and share this video with your fellow animal lovers. I would appreciate it a lot, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.